Hey everyone, it's Lisa from the blog farmhouseonboone.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make stuffed peppers with pumpkin. This is a recipe I recently made for my blog, and it turned out so delicious. We really loved it that I thought I should definitely bring it here to my channel. So let's dive right in. I'm going to start by getting the peppers roasting in the oven. I always, when I make stuffed peppers, like to get them roasted first. Now the reason for that is it's just so much more delicious whenever they have that roasted flavor. And I find that I don't get that enough if I just fill them and roast them. I, for the sake of presentation, like to leave my stems on. I just think they look pretty. Now you don't actually eat them. We don't anyway. This particular recipe will serve 6. So I'm gonna use 6 bell peppers. Family our size, this will be enough for a dinner. If you're making this for an appetizer, maybe for like a party or something, it'll serve quite a few more because each person won't eat more than one. Luke and I especially love these. I've been craving these lately. Now, if the peppers are super soft, I find the kids will eat them. Not all of my kids will. Some will just eat the filling out of the middle. Some will, you know, cut up the pepper like you're supposed to with the meat and eat it. We just serve them, and Luke and I tend to just eat whatever the kids don't eat off of their plates. Now I'm just going to drizzle these with a little bit of coconut oil and roast them at 375 degrees for about 25 minutes. This next ingredient is optional, but I love to use pumpkin all throughout fall, and not just pureed in pies and pumpkin spice lattes, though I do love that. I like to put it in normal foods. So last year I did a recipe where I put it in some sheet pan nachos. I like putting them in stir fry, in a veggie hash. I even put pumpkin, when it's pureed of course, in smoothies. So you mix a little bit of raw milk, frozen bananas, pumpkin puree, pumpkin spice, and then a little bit of maple syrup or honey. It is such a delicious smoothie. Now the frozen bananas aren't optional, it makes it really creamy. We use pumpkin in everything. It's just another squash, so it just tastes great in anything you might put butternut squash in or something like that. So what I do is I cut it in half and then scoop out the seeds. And then if you're gonna do some for puree, you can set one aside and just bake it like that and scoop it out. I like to just cut off a few segments whenever I'm going to make a puree, and use that for some diced and sauteed pumpkin. And then I'm just gonna peel it almost like a potato. I just use a potato peeler and just peel it. If you're feeling ambitious one day, you could just get a whole bunch of pumpkin diced up and ready to add to all kinds of things. I like it in this time of year because it's really cheap. So you can get a lot of vegetable for like $2 or something. My favorites are the sugar pie pumpkins and Jardales. I go more in depth on the blog about that if you want to visit. The link in the description below. I will leave that so that you can see more about cooking pumpkin and how to and all that, but it's really simple. You just cook it like any other vegetable. I feel like there's sort of a mystery around pumpkin, and people feel like it is like some different special veggie, but it's really just like all the others. Right now I'm just gonna dice this up like I would a potato or anything else, an onion, and cook it in a little bit of coconut oil. Now my trick for getting kids to eat veggies is always to dice it up really, really small. Now I'm just gonna saute this pumpkin in a little bit of coconut oil on medium heat and cook it until it is soft. I'm just gonna set this pumpkin aside, and in the same skillet, get some ground beef going. I'm gonna use 1 pound of ground beef, 1 whole onion, and 5 cloves of minced garlic. I personally love adding minced garlic while beef is cooking. It just makes it taste so much better. I'm just gonna cook the beef until it's browned through over medium heat. Now I'm just gonna add the rest of the filling ingredients. I'm gonna use 1 can, 14.5 ounce standard can of diced tomatoes. You could also totally use fresh, just cut up about 3 large tomatoes, 1 cup of cooked quinoa, about a cup of cooked diced pumpkin. Now I will sometimes leave a little bit out to put on top as like a garnish. So it depends on how much you're trying to hide the pumpkin, maybe from kiddos or whatever, or show it off. 1 teaspoon of salt. And my favorite ingredient, 4 ounces of feta cheese. I love throwing feta cheese in anything that's kind of a little bit Mexican-y. I just love it. I think it tastes so good. I put this also in my pumpkin sheet pan nachos recipe. I just think it's great. Now I'm gonna stuff my peppers. I just try to pack this in as tightly as possible. There's a little extra liquid in there, and I actually really like that because it cooks the peppers a little bit more and makes them soft. Now, if your bell peppers are large enough, this filling should be just the right amount to fill right at 6 peppers. You might have to put it in a couple of different pans though. Next, I'm just gonna freshly shred up some cheddar cheese. I personally don't like to use pre-shredded cheese because it does not melt as well. It has something coating it. So I like to shred my cheddar cheese fresh. And then just top each pepper with probably about a tablespoon. I like to really pack it down in there of freshly shredded cheddar cheese. This next step is optional, but I like to put it on at least a few just for me and Luke. I thinly slice up jalapenos and put them on top before baking. Now you could also use some fermented jalapenos. We ran out, so I don't currently have any on hand. I do have a tutorial on here for that. I'll leave a link below. But if you do the fermented jalapenos, make sure to put them on afterward because you don't want to destroy all the gut healthy benefits of fermented by cooking them. But raw jalapenos baked there at the end are also so delicious. This just adds a kick that I love. Then just return them to the oven and cook for an additional 15 minutes at 375 degrees. These peppers smell amazing. I have a jalapeno version for Luke and then I have a bunch that don't have jalapenos for the kids. Just in time for dinner. We're gonna enjoy these tonight. Make sure to head on over to the blog. I have the printable version of this recipe, so you can just print the sheet out, keep it in your kitchen, or you can even pin it to a Pinterest board if you like to use your phone, and grab this recipe. If you do try it, give it a review. Helps my recipes to do better on Google and Pinterest. We love these so much. They are the perfect tasty dinner. They have lots of good vegetables in them and whole grains and meat, and they taste delicious. All right, well, if you're brand new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I make 2 new videos every week on food from scratch, natural living, and a handmade home. Thank you so much for stopping by the farmhouse.